It is that time of the year again, and GTA's Halloween event is here. And it's pretty cool, generally interesting, however, there are some objections to be made. For the starter, all the stuff from the past Halloween event, including the Phantom car, the slashers, the UFOs, and the peyote plants are back. With the exception that now there is a 50% chance that the slasher could be a clone of yourself. This is kind of redundant because we already had a slasher that is a clown. This year we have the new ghost Cerberus. You should simply be in a session of at least 2 players for 16 minutes, and then you should go to the locations of the exotic sports car. You can look him up for this event, and as soon as you get in, the truck will start chasing you. This apparently is inspired by Steven Spielberg's 1971 movie Duel, which is a great movie, especially if you're into classics. I definitely recommend it. We also have the jack-o'-lantern pickups. Basically, you go out trick-or-treating. There are jack-o'-lantern collectibles, and you need to pick up 10 in order to receive a $40,000 in your bank account and a jack-o'-lantern mask. While collecting the jack-o'-lanterns, you'll either receive a trick or treat. For treat, you might get snacks, RP, and cash or health and armor. For trick, you might get tased, bombed, get an energy pulse as if you were shot by an up and atomizer. It is all luck. And for example, I collected my 10 jack-o'-lanterns, and this is what happened. I got tased, I got stoned, I got bombed, I got up and atomized, I got turned into an animal, I got bombed again, I got turned into another animal, I got tased one more time, and I received some snacks. Hopefully you don't get chain suplexed like that and get some candies for compensation. Now, the event is pretty fine and I'm not gonna complain. However, I think there is room for us to fairly criticize some things here. The jack-o'-lantern collectibles, for example, there are 200 of them in general, and you would have to collect 10 in order to receive the jack-o'-lantern mask as a prize. If you collect all the 200, you will receive the jack-o'-lantern t-shirt. But the thing is, it resets every day, which means if you have to want the t-shirt, you should collect all the 200 ones in one day. That takes a high level of non-grass touching commitment. And all that for a t-shirt is kind of ridiculous. But if you really like the t-shirt, there is a video by GTA series videos which shows the locations of all the 200 jack-o'-lanterns on YouTube. But still, it's dumb that they have to reset every single day. The ghost Cerberus, for example. The idea is unique. The application of the idea, not so much. The idea of having a truck tailgating you while you're running away is amazing. And every story around that would be thrilling. Again, the Duel being a recommended movie. However, in the context of GTA Online, you get cars that can easily outrun the truck, which is the Cerberus Apocalypse, which is one of the slowest vehicles in the game. But at the same time, this truck has the perfect appearance for a chasing scenario. I think Rockstar should have just moderated this a bit better. Like it was given that the cars wouldn't have been fast enough, or the truck was a bit faster, so then it wouldn't have to spawn right behind you every time you outrun it. The car from the movie is a 1970 Plymouth Valiant. It reaches 0 to 100 kilometers or 0 to 60 miles in around 14 seconds, and the top speed of the car is 157 kilometers per hour or 93 miles per hour for the Americans. An average car that is not very fast for its own time. The truck is a 1955 Peterbilt 281 with a top speed of 75 to 80 miles per hour or 120 to 128 kilometers, so not that much of a speed gap. In reality, trucks are actually a bit faster than what you might expect. They just don't have enough acceleration, obviously because of how heavy they are, so it would take them time to build speed. That's mainly why the movie took place on a desert road. But then again, that would make outrunning the truck easier considering the speed gap between the truck and the car. It might feel like an exhilarating high-octane chase the first time, but it really isn't in my opinion. Unless you screw up a turn or bump into a car during the chase, even SpongeBob, who failed his driving test these many times, can outrun the truck. This line of criticism could be somehow used for the slashers. A slasher, in the context of horror films, is a person who attacks people with a knife, a machete, or any other melee weapon, for example. We like the slasher movies because the slasher usually goes after defenseless normal people. It would make sense for a strong big villain to go after a bunch of teenagers and young adults who have no real physical defense, not some mute motherfucker with an entire arsenal of every conceivable weapon at his possession. If you are a slasher, you go after people who are unable to defend themselves, not the fucking Doom guy. That's why when many people in GTA Online encounter a slasher, they just minigun him down. Now, whatever you want to do to a slasher, that's all personal choice. But in my opinion, it would have been more interesting if it was a situation where you had no weapons and somehow you had to escape the slasher. With all that being said, this is still a very cool event, especially now that they decided they want to return the things from the previous Halloween event to this event. That makes it even cooler. Well, that was about it. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I just thought it would be good to look at things from a different aspect, but still, I think this is a pretty cool and good event. So go out there and enjoy the Halloween, both in GTA Online and in real life. And thanks again for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you around. Goodbye.